Welcome back, all my 40K fanatics out there. I'm DJ here with Tim's Nation. And as the title suggests, I finally made a decision on what I'm going to play for the GT so I can get the stuff painted and ready. And that is Necron characters. And I played this list a couple of times. Well, quite a few times. And the list itself, the concept behind it really hasn't changed. So I'm still going to throw the list in here and show all the models at the end of this video. But for this first section, I want to talk about why I'm choosing to take this thing to a GT right now instead of maybe Grey Knights or some of these other armies, because I have enough time to get a lot of other stuff ready, but this is the one I've chosen. So this detachment, this is the Necron 19 characters, 21 models out of Awakened Dynasty. Biggest reason is I'm taking the Awakened Dynasty for the enhancements, a 4-up Feel No Pain, as well as Veil of Darkness on a Hex Mark, but I'm also taking it for the one stratagem. 1 CP, stand a character, infantry character unit up that was just destroyed, and with half its wounds remaining at the end of that phase. So in a lot of scenarios, there's a lot to unpack with this enhancement. One, it's standing the character back up at the end of the phase, not immediately. So you can't shoot it down, drop, stand it up, shoot it down again. If your opponent is not able to charge something that fell in the shooting phase, this means that that character is going to make it around to your command phase and get a reanimation. So in a lot of ways, 1 CP generate another unit. As we've seen across the game, whenever you have a strat that for a command point can recycle a unit, it turns into once per game. This is not once per game. So that's very, very big, as this is one thing in the army. There is a once per game factor, and that is once per game per character, but you can use it across the board. So that's really the biggest part of why this detachment for it. This was once started off as a meme, just thought it was hilarious, the fact that I could fill out an army with these characters, and hey, these characters could actually fit these roles. But then after playing it, they do those roles very, very well in a lot of scenarios. Things like the score packs are very durable with 7 wounds, toughness 7, 4-up invuln, and then there's one that I give a 4-up Feel No Pain to. Illuminator Xeris, even without battle line units to buff, at 165 points, it becomes impossible to destroy him, and with lone op too. He's infantry in a character, so he can stand back up. 2-up, 4-up, 4-up Feel No Pain. He's around forever and can help push onto objectives, especially with the lone op capabilities of being within 12 inches of a Necron unit. So another character hiding behind a wall, similar to tricks that are used with Gilliman and Lieutenant. So that's the detachment reason. What it brings, why some of this stuff functions, because I get so many additional units depending on how they get destroyed, and it starts to become just extra resources that I get out of this army. Now, there are a few things that don't get this. Silent King doesn't get it, Locust Lords don't get it, Catacomb Command Barges don't get it, and a lot of people wonder why the CCBs. Why CCBs with Resurrection Orb? The biggest thing is those are mobile healers. At the end of any phase, I can move the unit out, and at the end of the phase, pop the Resurrection Orb and heal something for D6 wounds. I use these things quick. I use these things very quick, but there is a lot of scenarios where they've come into that a Score Pack Lord with 4 wounds left that's about to get charged suddenly went back up to full strength because of the D6, and you're charging into it at the end of your fight, at the end of your charge phase, boom, I gave it D6 more, I hit it for 6 wounds. Okay, it's at full health. That changes everything there. Then it rolls to my turn. I have the reanimation to reanimate off the damage you put onto it. Very big. Also, I don't have a lot of units. How do I play primary games? 2 things. Catacomb Command Barge gives +1 OC to Necron units within aura range of it. And Psychomancers. Psychomancers have an ability to target a unit within 18, no line of sight required, and make them take a battle shock at the beginning of any phase at -1. So, beginning of the command phase, I target a unit on objective, battle shock it. Oh, it fails. That's a 0. Well, now the 10 on primary turns into a 15 because now I control more than you. And I took that objective away in some way, shape, or fashion. Very, very nice. Very crucial for my secondary game in this aspect of it. The cycles are also good because they hang out towards the outside so they can do secondaries, which a lot of units in this army can. There's a lot of units that are getting in position to fight, so they're able to do those things. Or one-time shoot, such as the Overlords. Overlords with the Tachyon arrows combined with the Silent King gives me the ability to hit something that is a durable vehicle that needs to go, something that's like maybe toughness 11, toughness 12. I can hit it and hit it hard and try and get rid of it before it becomes a big problem. Plus, with their range too, I can hit it from a long range, and it's a big threat. Granted, there are the chances that you get invulned, which has happened with my Tachyon arrows, or you fail. The Silent King being able to give reroll ones to hit and wound helps the Overlords so that they hit better and makes it more threatening and makes your opponent go, ooh, if I step out, those 3 Overlords step through the wall and throw 3 Tachyon arrows at me. And their combined damage output, depending on what the target is, could destroy that. So then it makes it, well, what do we do? Even if you don't destroy it, you leave it at 2 or 3 wounds, and it's like, all right, let me just start hitting it with indirect from the Silent King. Maybe I'll get lucky and get 1 or 2 through it. Oh, cool, now it's destroyed. So that's kind of the a lot of a segue of like how a lot of that stuff functions and why I take that for it. The Catacombs for extra OC, the mobile heal. Score packs are great frontline warrior units. Toughness 7, 7 wounds with a 4-up invuln. Locust destroyers do the same. They're ridiculously durable for what they are. Toughness 6, 6 wounds, and because of the Nano Scarab Casket, the ability, war gear that no one ever takes. You take a Locust Lord, he has a Resurrection Orb, he goes with Locust. But when you take him by himself, he gets a Nano Scarab Casket because he can't use a Resurrection Orb on himself. No orb can be used on itself. Only the Catacomb can target an infantry unit, and he has a 5-up Feel No Pain. T6, 6 wounds, 3-up, 4-up with a 5-up Feel No Pain. Because he's a Lord, he's also got that invuln. So many invulns across the army means that anytime I have 50-50 chance of just stopping it. Custodies know this all too well. There are some games where your opponent can shoot at you and you can wreck them with 4-up invulns and just go, I'm sorry, you did nothing this turn. That's across the board. The only things that don't have invuln are my Cryptek style characters not named Illuminator Xeris. The Psychomancers as well as the Plasmancers. Plasmancers, huge, huge, huge fire support as far as everything goes into the army. Just so much damage that can go in there. Pseudo grenade with the 4 dice, 4-ups do mortal wounds. And then the shots that they're able to put in afterwards, just extra damage that comes in there. These guys are really able to be a pain and push damage through onto things before we charge in. So love these guys. Now, I do have to watch a little bit for them because the Dark Angels have the mortal wound defense. So these guys are not going to be as efficient into things like that. One good thing is that with the Silent King, I can switch back over to you cannot modify me. So at least for the Dark Angels, and it depends on how it comes. I have to read on some of that stuff. But some of the modifiers they try to put against my profiles, I can prevent those from happening and still be able to do decent damage and push something through. But getting mortal wounds through is going to be tough. It will be tough also with the dev wound aspect too, because of typically those things are mortal and devastating, because devastating are mortal wounds. So that gets kind of affected as well in there. So there's a little bit to watch out for with that. Hopefully, though, with just the sheer amount of models and units I have, that might be where it kind of puts some trouble. It's going to be all Silent King positioning and how much he can kind of govern up there. And there's a big thing with it as well. The Silent King, because of a lot of my things being able to hit on 2s, I could switch off of reroll 1s and just hope for not rolling 1s to hit, and then try to go through that with ignoring modifiers to damage, especially with damage characteristic. Knocking things down like Score Pack Lords from 3 to 2 damage is bad, especially when going into like 3 wound models like such as Terminators. I want to make sure that what we hit dies. So all in all, the biggest thing with this list, why it works, I have 19 units. This plays like an MSU beauty, where you just have multiple small units. I can go out there and score. I can complete actions. But on top of it, these units have teeth and can hit. And they have armor. They are resilient. They are both sides of the coin. And it's a lot of models, a lot of units. I'm sorry, not a lot of models, a lot of units represented by a few amounts of models. So that's interesting. And then the biggest part of it all is this has got to be probably the best opportunity for me to play this army. After this, where the power level of the game's going, I'm concerned that with how old the Necron Codex is, this may not be valuable. Would I say it? No, valid. We'll just say this is not going to be valid, which is kind of where I was going with at first. Very short, very soon. With some of the new codexes and stuff like that, I'm looking forward to playing Grey Knights. I mean, you guys have seen them. Obviously, I'm looking forward to that codex. Demonkin, I want to get to work on them as well. And then maybe move back over to Canoptic. There's a lot of things that I want to try. This list looks really cool. And if I don't take this one opportunity to take this thing to a GT and see what I could do with 19 characters, man, it's going to be worth it just for the lulz. Just to see people come up and go, wait, you're running what now? 19 characters, 21 models. And to have one person, at least one person over the course of the weekend, ask a judge, is this even legal? That's what I'm hoping for. So I think worst case scenario, I'm at least at worst case scenario, I think this list can at least go 3-2. Worst case scenario, and I'll have a good time. I can go 3-2 and have a good time with this thing, but this has some underdog value to it. So I'm all, as anyone knows, anyone who goes to a GT, I'm not going there for second place. I'm going there for first place. I'm going there to fight with the big dogs and say, hi, oh, you brought this ultra competitive meta list. Awesome. I got 19 characters. Let's play Warhammer. So that's my methodology for this one. We'll see how that works out for me. I'm sure I'll just have a great weekend either way. Like I said, at worst, I think this list can at least go 3-2. But man, I'm going for the best. All right, let's close out this video. I want to talk about what the actual army looks like real quick. Flash the images up here. These are some old images because I'm still got some stuff drying and painting. But as you'll see in the course of the couple weeks, I'm going to be getting a lot of stuff done, getting these guys based, getting them purple based, and just getting the finishing touches on some stuff to get them table ready and tournament ready. All right, guys, let's go take a look at the Necron Awakened characters. All right, yeah, so that's what I'm going with right now until I can come up with a better name for this list, and I think this list needs a good name. So this is the Awakened characters. As I've said, 19 characters, 21 models. Awakened Dynasty, we have the strat that lets us resurrect a character. Detachment rule does not matter, does not work for them. And then we have a couple of two good enhancements that we like for this detachment. And that's about it. That's really all we're looking at. There are a couple other strats that have like kind of one-time functions and stuff, but for an all-character build, the biggest thing is we're running that reanimation strat, which just gives us the free units. It's the biggest value out of any detachment with this and makes running all these characters a viable option, honestly. So, for the list. First off, we have the Silent King. Silent King is an aura beacon, as I was saying. He's very, very strong shooting, very strong in combat. He's not quite the level to go taking on Primarchs and taking out big tanks and Titanic stuff as such, but infantry units that he runs into, and even some tougher category of infantry units, he can wreck. He's got quite a bit of attacks, a lot of shots. He's a gunboat. That really is a mobile gunboat. So this guy, he's kind of a Swiss Army knife of sorts. You know, he's really good at coming in handy for a couple of jobs, but you know, you're not going to saw down a tree with him. Let's say that. You know, he can be a weed whacker, but he is not a chainsaw. All right, moving on. We have two Psychomancers. These Cryptech guys are the guys that are going to be doing leadership buffs to try to get me objectives off of people because of their ability to make things take battle shock tests. So drop them to OC0, score some extra primaries, and hang out in the backfield and do secondaries. Next up, as I mentioned, we got 2 Catacomb Command Barges. Catacombs, these are a shooting variant, so I have the Staff of Light and the Tesla on them, so I can put out more shots. That's something that my army doesn't have, is a lot of guns, so I want these guys to be able to put a little more range down there, so they're Tesla and Staff of Light. They also have the Resurrection Orb to targeted infantry, unit, or mounted, and give them D6 wounds back at the end of any phase. +1 OC is an aura, I believe 6 inches, that you can get +1 OC. So also helpful with some of these character units since I have so few models to get objective control value with. As I mentioned, I also have 3 of the Overlords with the Tachyon arrows. Don't see this guy enough on the table. I mean, this guy's got huge range, 1 shot, strength 16, AP 5, I believe, maybe 4. I have to look that up again, so can't remember, but it's high AP. It's either 4, might be 5 on this one. D6 +2 damage. Usually keep these guys by the Silent King for reroll 1s to hit and wound for that extra reliability, and these are just a walk out there and I will push the button. And I will hit you with these 3, and we're just going to throw dice at each other. And if my dice rolls are better than your dice rolls, I may blow up your big, stupid tank. That's the way that these guys function. On top of it, they're very durable. I didn't mention this. They're a 2-up, 4-up, toughness 5, 6 wounds, and they reduce damage by 1. Really cool. Super good. I love these guys to be able to get on objectives late in the game. Next up, we have 3 of the Scorpack Lords. These guys are quick, 3-up, 4-up, toughness 7, 7 wounds. They're a combat house, and I talked a lot about these guys. There's not very much else to say. They can do actions. They push up the field. One of them is going to have the 4-up Feel No Pain because why? Because that's amazing on him. He's like a mini Xeris. Toughness 7, 7 wounds. 3-up, 4-up with a 4-up Feel No Pain. He is an infantry character, so can stand back up. But these guys are a great piece in the offense because of how durable, tough, and quick they are. They're also going to be having these 3 Locust Lords following behind them. Also, same speed, same stat lines. I mean, they're going in the same thing. These guys, it's weird to say which one actually hits harder because these ones have dev wounds. And if they are targeting a unit that is below 50%, so if we do some damage with a Scorpack and just get you down to less than 50% starting wounds or strength, now we're rerolling hits and wounds with a dev weapon. That's pretty brutal. So these guys are really good. They both have a 5-up Feel No Pain, which makes them even better, just all around. 3-up, 4-up, and toughness 6 with 6 wounds. So these guys are all great to go out and get some objectives and just kind of require your opponent to dedicate more than they want to into them. We also have 3 Plasmancers. These guys have that ability that can do mortal wounds, roll 4 dice at 18 inches, and each 4-up is a mortal wound. And then their shooting profile, which is 3 shots, strength 6, AP 3, 2 damage. Just because of the 4-up ballistic skill makes it a little rough on them to hit, but it's enough little sprayed fire that these guys are actually really good at cleaning up some tougher things that are trying to sneak in the backfield. And that mortal wound damage is huge. That mortal wound damage is some of the biggest reason to take them because it can just, it can be the thing that helps those Locust Lords get kicked over to be able to do reroll hits and wounds and such like that. Moving on, we do have 2 Hexmark Destroyers. One will be taking the Veil of Darkness. This is just, I had the points for it and I was able to do it. And I do see a lot of value behind this. Now that one of them hex marks, I can pick up at the end of any phase. This is a deep strike unit. They will hang out in reserve. They have low nop inherently. So wherever I drop them, they can be very defensive. And these are able to play that as well, just play the secondary game. Whatever cards I may draw, they have the opportunity to make sure they are in that area. So got 2 of these guys, pretty cheap, good at doing secondaries, and just some fun overall rules with their Overwatch, and I'm going to shoot back at you. Just some adorable rules that make them very interesting, and just stop and go, wait, no, they're going to shoot at you because Overwatch for free, or this or that. Just cool little fun things to do with them. Let's see. So we also can't walk away without talking about Big Boy Illuminator Xeris. This guy is durable to the T, especially in this detachment. 2 up save, 4 up invuln, 4 up feel no pain, toughness 8, 9 wounds. He is a character. He is infantry. He can go through walls. He can stand back up. He has lone op when within 3 inches of a Necron unit. He is so durable at 165 points. It's insane. So yeah, he's here. He does everything I want him to do. He just moves up the field. He's got 36-inch range, strength 9, AP3, 3 damage shooting attack. And he can just be annoying and impossible to take down, and then move on to an objective and eventually drift lazily through some things, and just also kind of be a sponge, so other units like the Scorpex and stuff can then go in there and make charges and do mortal wounds and actually do some damage that way. So big value out of Xeris. Lane loves him. Lane loves him and this detachment. He's his best friend. So that's it. That's the list. We've talked about it, so there's not really much else to say. This is what I'm going to be running. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. Afterwards, we'll talk about all the afterwards. Right now, I'm just going to be focused on getting these Necrons ready. I'll probably run a couple of their armies, but this is the detachment, the army I will be locking in and practicing to get ready for the GT. And we'll see how it does. It's going to be a lot of fun either way. So, all right, guys. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.